This is my hub house. This is my home, and this is where I help my community and my neighbors. Battery that stores the energy. It helps me be the lighthouse for my community. Electric, and it shorted out, and there was a fire in my attic, and it came up. So it was just a holy mess. Everybody was caught flat-footed. Even though you have extra water and different things like that, you're not ready for a freeze, especially when electricity goes out, the grid goes down. We was at the mercy of that storm. Over here on the couch, and they had little blankets and stuff down there. When lights went out, about June, July, I think it was last year, I heard a knock to my door, and it was my neighbor. And she told me, look outside. I looked outside, and the grid had went down, and there was no lights. So I wound up with about 15 people in my house.
A hub house is a space volunteered by a resident of Northeast Houston and a member of the Northeast Action Collective to be used as a place of refuge during extreme cold and extreme heat, to store emergency supplies such as medicine and backup power, and just as a place for people, neighbors, to organize to better get informed on how to improve the resilience of their homes against flooding.
I'm checking to see that my battery is steady charging. Because sometimes when it's over full, it would go to the grid. Having solar, having that battery is a relief. Now my light bills are never over $50 or $60. That is great. The sun powers me. I don't even worry about, the grid going out. If the grid go out, I'm here for my neighbors and for my community.
The Hub Home program was created in 2022 after Winter Storm Uri. We're just surveying people to see what the needs were, to how they can rebuild. For reproductive education, so we want to make sure we have that supplied. This program has 7 hub homes and 8 mini hubs, and we're actually hoping to expand some of those mini hubs and make them full-fledged hubs with more supplies, solar power, and hopefully in different neighborhoods that we already haven't accessed yet, to expand our reach and try to get as many people connected as possible to the network.
Communities that are getting ready for or recovering from one impact are often getting hit with the second, third, and fourth. And so who's best at the end of the day to be able to, again, saving lives and doing it in the right way to respond to disasters? And it's the people who live in those communities.
The city of Houston and the county does have community shelters and places where people can stay as warming and cooling centers. However, most of them operate only during the day. They have certain restrictions for people and, of course, capacity limits. And for a lot of folks, especially if they cannot drive or cannot drive far, it's just out of reach. Especially when there's flooding, a lot of roads become inaccessible, and it makes it very difficult for people to reach these shelters.
The foundation to me of resilience and response and recovery are people connections, who you know, who you trust, how you cooperate with people, how building those connections, trust and cooperation is what it's all about.
I got my neighbors to trust me and my hub home because we already had that relationship built over time from years when my parents were still living there. So we known each other since I was a kid.
I also have extra bedroom. No one stayed in there. That's the bathroom that they use. I act like I'm cutting it off. And I think it's a good program worth keeping because we cannot depend on our municipalities. Bottom line.
The right-wing administration has been constantly trying to cancel or defund a lot of environmental programs, including programs like ours that just simply just provide power to residential homes. So it's frustrating, definitely.
Jelajahi cara baru mendapatkan informasi. Download MetroTV Extend sekarang.